Greetings, salutations, and welcome to After Action. I'm your host, Patrick Kreeger, and I'm joined once again by Matt.
What's going on?
Tonight, we watched another film on the Netflix called El Camino Christmas. Came out in 2017, and so I'll read the description, because this description is not as detailed.
All right, there you go.
The project, scripted by Melfi and the writer Chris Warner, is about a young man who seeks out his father he has never met, though through no fault of his own, ends up barricaded in a liquor store with 5 other people on Christmas Eve. And the story takes place in the fictitious town of El Camino, Nevada.
Vague, but good. I guess as a, not to give any spoilers.
Yeah, exactly. So, watch, don't watch.
Absolutely 100% unequivocally watch. Please. Please watch. Many times.
I'm going to say it's a watch as well, but I do have to say it's not as good as some of the other films we've seen this holiday season.
I loved it. It was a film that I could see myself watching for un-Christmas related matters due to the, actors and actresses in it. Mainly just 2 actors. Yeah, it's just an awesome film.
Indeed. It's definitely worth a watch once, I would say. It wouldn't be a film I would go back and watch again.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it.
Good. All right, so let's get talking to it about it a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
I wish I could speak. So you were saying there's a couple actors in the film. Why don't you tell us who those actors were?
Oh, dude, I couldn't. All right, so, first off, there's, who's the reporter chick?
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba. All right, so she's an up-and-coming reporter, is trying to make it big. She's, on local detail, and she's trying to get national, right? So she's got a cameraman with him. He is the Asian guy from The Incubator in Silicon Valley, TV series. And I love that actor. He's awesome. But not the reason to watch. The main reason is Dax Shepard and Tim Allen. Those guys. Oh, dude. Those guys.
Well, and the father from
that 70s show, and he's in a plethora of other things. The Hispanic gentleman that owns the liquor store where all the events unfold.
Apparently Emilio Rivera.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. He's in Sons of Anarchy and the new, I believe, the show called Mayans. It's about the a rival gang to the Sons of Anarchy in that world,
Mm-hmm.
But great acting by everyone.
Yeah, I do have to say that both this film and the last film we watched had very, very good acting, especially compared to what we're used to.
Yes, exactly. We're normalized to just, the best of the worst, as they say. And now we're getting some of the best of the best.
So I do want to say a couple more things about this film now that you've listed the stars. It's apparently a crime comedy.
They make genres for...
Yeah. It was a made-for-TV film.
Absolutely.
It's TVMA.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
And I love this. On the IMDb, it says, The Goof. Marijuana is legalized in Nevada as of July 2017. Therefore, Eric wouldn't have been arrested for a small bag of pot.
Yeah. Whatever, man. That's a... it worked for the film.
It did.
And who knows? They might have filmed it in 2016.
I'm sure they did.
And back then, it was illegal. So...
So do you want to run through the plot?
No, you can.
Okay. So we start off with a guy in a very spiffy car.
Yeah, like a 71 Camaro.
Coming into town, getting a hotel room. We get to meet a few of the police officers. We find out that that 70s show dad is addicted to cigarettes.
As all good Americans are.
He is both smoking and has a nicotine patch on.
Yeah, that's a winning combination if you ask me.
And so the guy we see coming on the El Camino, not El Camino.
Camaro.
Jeez. Yeah, I wish he was driving an El Camino. Anyway, he's looking for his dad, and I kind of called that before. Yeah. We kind of thought he was up to something fishy because the cops think he's up to something fishy.
Yeah, in that when trying to buy a room, used a credit card. It was declined. He didn't want the front desk guy who also, Dax Shepard, who both not fronted, but part-time worked at the motel, part-time sheriff's deputy.
Yeah, they didn't.
They didn't elaborate on that at all.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
And so the card got declined. The card got declined, and he was like, "Oh," Dax was like, "Oh no, it's all good. I just got to call the credit card company, see what's going on." And the main actor guy was like, "No, it's all good. I'll call him. You don't want to wait, on the phone. It's whatever. I got cash." So he pays for it in cash. A little suspicious. Second sheriff's deputy walks in and is obviously just waiting for Dax to get off, and so that they can go do their normal patrol. I don't know. And is like, "Oh, nice Camaro. What year is it?" And he's like, "Oh, 70s or something, 70 something." And just continues whistling and singing a old timey song. And
it was not an old timey song.
It was a western. It was
talking about Wally World and whatnot.
Yeah.
Continue.
And so, what was I talking about?
We were just describing the scene of why the cops were suspicious.
Oh, yeah.
And it made us suspicious of him.
Yeah, it made us suspicious. Like, he's not elaborating too much. He's not giving too much information.
The fact that he didn't want him to call the card was my biggest thing.
Exactly. And then it cuts to him in his motel room, and his toilet's overflowing, so he goes to the general store and buys some Drano.
And he's being real sketchy this whole time.
Yeah, he's just kind of like looking around, doing whatever.
Where can I buy some things?
Yeah, just some things, And so there was a level of suspicion about him. And so that, it's, safe to say, we thought he might have been a bad guy.
Before we continue on, I want to read some of these reviews because they're funny.
Okay.
I'll read all 5 because there are only 5 reviews.
Excellent.
A bloody, humorless debacle of a comedy. 1 out of 4 stars.
Well, he's obviously not from this country. God's greatest country. America.
No carols sung, no Santa seen, and the decorations are few and far between. This is more anti-Christmas, anti-feel-good flick than one might want to watch more than once.
The first 2 lines rhymed.
Yeah.
I thought real long and hard about that one. They're like, let's slide a rhyme into my comment that some dudes will read probably, a year or so later.
August.
Okay.
August this year. Dark, depressing comedy that has lots of cursing and drinking.
People are negative.
Buried deep beneath all the booze and bullets, there's some humanity here. It just takes a little digging into it to unearth it all. Yeah.
That was a good one. What do you give it?
Doesn't say. But a red tomato, for what that's worth.
Is that good?
I would assume. Dreadful. But it's difficult to tell who's to blame for this mess. I give it a D. I don't know why there's one person giving it 1 out of 4 stars, one person giving it 2 out of 5 stars. One person just gives it a tomato, and another person says it gets a D.
There is no grading scale for this movie, as all were used.
Well, it's Rotten Tomatoes, so Rotten Tomatoes is a conglomeration of other people's ratings.
That's so dumb.
And Rotten Tomatoes is on a 1 to 5 scale. So, they convert everything into a 1 to 5. And just so you know, it's got a 40% on the Rotten Tomato meter.
It's got Tim Allen, Dax Shepard, the dad from, I was going to say 30 Rock.
That 70s show.
That 70s show. It's got Jessica Alba or Biel?
Yeah, Jessica Alba. And her role was eh.
Yeah, her role was mellow. The camera guy was from Silicon Valley. It's
star-studded.
It's star-studded.
So let's get to the real crux here. So he's trying to find his dad. He goes to a motel or a condo place asks, is this where my dad lives? And the guy says, no, but hey, I think I might know about him. Why don't you buy me a beer and I'll talk with you about him? So they go to the bar. The guy gets into a fight. So the guy being Tim Allen gets into a fight. Our lead breaks up the fight. The lead storms off.
The lead leaves?
The lead leaves. Tim Allen gets into a fight outside.
Well, he gets sucker punched in I don't know, just in the dark after, he's stumbling home.
Almost shoots a kid.
Almost shoots the kid. He draws his gun and he's on the ground bleeding, and the two kids are running away because they're like, hey, we just beat up a drunk guy. And he's like, I don't need to kill no kids. Not tonight, at least.
And it was really cool symmetry because at the same time Tim Allen's getting beat up, our lead's getting beat up by the cops that pulled him over.
Exactly. He gets pulled over. Well, not pulled over. He comes. After he storms off from the bar, he drives home, right, or to the motel, and the cops ambush him.
Yeah.
And they, find Tim Allen's weed. They find an open bottle of tequila, and they also find a gallon size of Drano because he bought that for his toilet. Gets interrogated. Drunk cop beats him.
Pretty harshly.
Yeah, unconscious. Wakes up in the morning. Dax realizes,
this isn't going to go well.
This is not a good scene. I understand that, this is bad. So I'm going to leave this door to your cell open. Here are the keys to your car. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and it's going to be a while. All right, the door is unlocked. Here are your keys. I'm going to the bathroom. And then, obviously, our lead leaves.
Our lead does a lot of leaving.
He's
for the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
So he gets in his car. He starts driving away. Drunk cop notices, pursues him, shoots at him.
Yeah.
Ends up crashing his car into a field. We're like, oh God, he's going to shoot this poor cow.
Yeah, he runs into a big old pile of hay, and a cow is on the other end of it, and he's just, stumbles out of the car, gun's still drawn.
Yeah.
And, with the same hand that's holding the gun, grabs his flask and, just keeps chugging away.
And then pursues him on foot.
Somehow gets to him.
Yeah, so the guy our cop shot at our lead and injures the Camaro. So our lead ends up at this gas station sort of thing, trying to buy some coolant.
Yeah, because apparently the bullet went from the middle of the engine compartment into and misses everything. It's like, just sprung a radiator leak. I didn't see any, drip trail, but movie.
It was putting out smoke and all that jazz. Well, anyway, so cop just starts shooting up the place.
Well, yeah, first the cop is like, he turns on his PTT for the radio and fires off a gunshot. And then he yells into the radio, shots fired in pursuit, blah, blah, blah. Gets into the liquor store. First, he's, shooting up at the liquor store. Tim Allen's in there buying beer. Vicente is manning the front. The chick and her son are in there. I don't know what for what. They got to work.
Yeah, they were taking over the shift from
Vicente.
Yeah.
And then our lead is in there trying to buy coolant, looking just disheveled. He's got a messed up face. I think he's got some blood on his shirt.
Yeah, because he was beat the hell out of the night before.
Yeah, and so he's just rattled, very, very suspicious. And, yeah.
And then a standoff takes place.
Indeed. And then, drunk cop makes his way in there. Tim Allen, out of nowhere, drunk, apparently, just consistently drunk throughout the whole movie, draws a gun, shoots the cop in the leg. Cop drops his gun. He falls to the ground. And then our lead picks up the cop's gun.
I like that. Military training. You shoot at me, I shoot back.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
So, rules of engagement. But, yeah.
So, I actually don't want to spoil too much about this film because it's...
So new. the last 2 films we did were brand new.
So I do kind of want to wrap this up with just general feelings. I don't want to give away any more of the plot.
Good.
So the general feeling this film will leave you with, as based on what the reviews were saying, I have to agree with. It's a dark film. It's not a happy film.
It's poetic justice, and you can see this coming a mile away, but then you also are still given enough hope to think that it can go another way. But we all know which way it always goes, and it's a crazy roller coaster of a movie, and I loved every minute of it. I was literally on the edge of my seat the entire film.
You kind of complained a little bit about the ending.
Well,
don't say too much about the ending, but say your feelings.
I was mad that they didn't conclude things more completely. I feel like they could have gone into a little bit more than they did.
Yeah. I would have liked a slightly happier ending.
It should have been, a little...
It's a Christmas film.
Yeah, it should have been a little bit better. But they could have done some things differently.
But we did get a pretty decent happy ending. 75% happy.
I was going to say like 70-75% as good as they could have done with what they were doing.
Indeed.
Tim Allen puts a great performance.
Oh
in
man,
this.
yeah.
Because all right, so I've seen a lot of Tim Allen, both in Home Improvement and his TV series he's doing, and not Home Improvement. It's I forgot. I'm blanking on the TV show now.
Last Man Standing.
Last Man Standing, and his millions of roles in movies and stuff, and I had never seen him play this kind of a role.
Yeah, and he was great at it.
He was phenomenal, and it was awesome.
And Red's dad did a great job acting too.
Well, I mean, Red, he's kind of typecast as an angry, kind of like logic-driven guy.
True, but typically, every time I've seen him, he's always 100% in control of the situation. This was the first time where I saw him out of control of the situation, and I think that was really interesting that he was able to still seem like the tough guy, but,
not in control of the situation.
Not in control.
Yeah.
Now, we really do need to say a couple spoilers. One, because there's a joke I desperately want to make, and I want to be the first to make it. So, from this point on, guys, hardcore spoilers, really do just go watch the film.
Absolutely.
So, Matt, do you have stuff you want to say about the ending? Before I say my joke that I wanted to say.
Well, Tim Allen dies. First off, that was a mistake. All right?
I agree.
He should have lived, and the truth of the whole shootout should have been revealed.
Yeah, and have the setup for that.
Exactly.
Everybody else lives. Everyone can vouch for him.
Yeah, exactly. And, they can, tell the truth and get everyone off. But they have to kill off the best actor in the movie.
For the gut punch that seems unnecessary.
It was a gut punch, and it was yeah, it was bad. But they could have let him live and then reconnect with his long lost son. They could have made the family, move to a better location than, what was it? El Camino, Nevada, fictional city. They could have moved out. She could have, shown an advance in her, career with, the completion of schooling that she was doing. Son could have talked. Well, the son was talking. So that was good because he was basically a mute the whole movie.
Yeah.
The couple could have been more established as a couple rather than I'm just kind of casually meeting you and seeing you a little bit is what I got the gist of at the end.
Yeah.
So
it would have been nice if
They were like, he came over, he kissed him, and he was like, "So how was your day?"
Yeah.
And then they could have ended on that. Like that establishes them as a a committed couple and all that. The Hispanic gentleman, Vicente, he had a great ending.
Yes,
That
he
was
did.
cool.
I loved that.
Yeah, he gets shot. We presume it's presumed that he's dead,
Yeah.
but
Because he's just hanging out of
he's hanging out of a window.
the door.
The door, yeah, but full of glass and beer everywhere. So, he's presumed dead, but then makes it out. He's in like, Cancun or something, some resort in Mexico. And he's just, he's explaining that, I got shot up a couple times and got paid handsomely for it, and
With a girl that looked like the Bud Light girl.
exactly.
From the ad.
And she's obviously a model and he's stoked out of his mind. Just having a good time. So that was a good ending for him.
Yeah.
As good as endings can go for him.
And Red Foreman, was quitting smoking.
Yeah, Red Foreman was quitting his smoking habits, and that was good. They didn't do anything about Dax.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, he was running for sheriff.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He's running for sheriff.
And they explained that the terrorists were actually raccoons.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was whatever.
Okay, so I got to tell my joke.
Tell it.
It's a lame joke, but Tim Allen comes out waving guns, gets himself shot, and you're hoping the whole time that there's some way out of this because you don't want to see Tim Allen die. And I do have to say, bold move reprising his role for Santa Claus 4.
Laws.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that was one of the jokes I wanted to make. The other one I really wanted to make is when the FBI shot him. Does that mean one of them has to be Santa Claus now?
Yep, that's exactly how that one works. So, guys, look forward to the next Santa Claus movie being a
Random FBI agent.
random FBI agent. If one starts getting fat, and you know what's going on. But yeah, it could have gone a lot better. It could have been a better quote unquote movie.
I think it was a great movie. It wasn't a great Christmas movie.
It wasn't a great Christmas movie, but it could have been a great feel good movie. Or just oh man, he survived. Like yes, like this good good triumphs over evil. But it was still a great movie, and the best of the people. I'd argue Tim Allen was the best, but the right people, most of the right people survived.
All right, guys. So if you do want a rather dark movie that's kind of interesting, kind of fun, go give El Camino Christmas a watch
On Netflix.
Until next time, dear listener, see you out there.